You're going to thank me for this one day, kids.
I don't think you can build up an immunity to, like, blunt objects.
Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And this is IKAGA. It's kind of a gray area.
Yes.
It's up there, guys.
Yeah, that's the breakdown of the acronym.
Yep.
And that's the episode. Thanks for coming.
And be sure to subscribe. I guess, see ya.
Right. And anyone who stuck around for that, now it's the real episode.
These are the people that really watch us.
Right.
All right. So, Carter, what do we have for today?
So today's shade involves children and the parenting thereof.
Which parents love to hear that. We're going to tell you how to parent.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of a global perspective from both the kid's point of view and the parent, I guess.
Okay.
But so here's the shade.
Yeah.
Should I break this down with a story first?
Yeah, I want to hear a story.
Okay.
Because then maybe you can guess what the shade is.
Right. Okay. So once upon a time, when I was a kid, I was outside and I was not playing soccer, just kicking a soccer ball back and forth, whatever you would call that.
It's soccer for lonely kids.
Well, there was another kid there.
Oh,
my
okay.
brother. That's the point of the story.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So we're outside passing the soccer ball back and forth, and now from the door of our house, there's a porch that opens up right out to.
Okay.
So we are not on the porch, so there's a good 2 to 3 feet of us that you cannot see because of the porch blocking the view.
Okay.
So you can see our upper half, but not our legs and feet.
Gotcha.
So we're outside kicking this ball back and forth, and all of a sudden my dad runs outside and starts yelling at me for kicking my brother, which I had not done. And my brother also tried to explain that I had not kicked him and that we were passing a ball back and forth, but my dad refused to hear it. And then
What?
We both got in trouble for roughhousing when we weren't. Because from his perspective, I guess it looked like we were just outside and I kicked him in the shin and then he kicked me in the shin.
You guys just screaming and kicking each other?
Well, we weren't even screaming. We were just passing a ball back and forth. I don't know why he assumed either of us were in pain. So that happened, but he couldn't accept that he was wrong, and he also couldn't tell if we were just covering for each other or what. So he just punished both of us for that event. Which brings us to the shade. And in that case, I don't think anyone should have been punished. But overall, here's the point.
Yeah.
Should you punish all of your kids if you're not sure who's guilty of something? Say that there's a cake that got knocked off the counter and you're like, did you do this? And it's no, I think Billy did it. It's Billy, did you do this? It's no, Ethan did it. It's Ethan? It's no, Sarah did it. And you're okay, well, you're all grounded now.
I have too many kids. I can't go through all of them right now. There's too many.
Right. This isn't a court case. We're not going to present evidence and DNA and really get to the bottom of this. So,
But there's one kid with cake all over his mouth.
Right. One of you is guilty. I don't know who it is, so you're all in trouble.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yep.
Some of you maybe have parented this way, which I don't blame you for. It's not
what's a parent to do?
Yeah, and again, this isn't a court case. It's not like you're sending them to jail forever.
Yeah.
It's okay, you can't look at the TV for an hour. There are worse injustices in the world. But in general, is that fair or okay? How do we feel about that?
It is tough because from a parent's perspective, it's this happened and someone needs to be punished.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one gets punished, all the kids are going to think it's okay to keep knocking over the cake.
Right.
Although, to be fair, once the cake's knocked over once, you don't really care if it gets knocked over again. But
for future cakes.
Future cakes, you don't want to ruin them. From that point of view, I would think you have to do something. Oh, man. Would it be on... It's not fair, but would it be on the parent or the kid that's not saying, yeah, that was me?
As an adult, you may lie about something, but you have a certain amount of guilt associated with that lie.
Because you know you're not supposed to.
Yeah, as a kid, you can punch someone in the face and I just saw you punch that guy in the face. And you're no, I did not. I did not punch him in the face.
You're so insistent.
And you will start to tear up and believe it yourself. And they're all right, fine. You didn't punch him. And you're oh, yeah, I did.
I got away with that?
That's not a real example. I've never punched someone. I've never punched a kid. So, as a kid or as an adult, I have never punched a child.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Have you?
So I'm not going to comment on it.
You're not going to comment on my hitting a kid or you hitting a kid?
So should we?
Right. So, I mean, it's hard to tell. You can't just go off of their testimony because they may be really insistent on the fact that they did not do this wrong. But it could all just still be a lie.
And I have seen kids cry with insistency.
Yeah, and it's just blatant, dude, you're covered in cake. You don't even have siblings. Why are you accusing one of them? So, I mean, it's just really, like, sometimes you can't go off of the facts of the case, and sometimes they are all genuinely guilty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I'm going to say justice-wise, like according to like the U.S. Constitution, I'm going to say or assume that it is injustice to punish all present parties for a potential crime or situation that has happened when only one is to blame.
Okay.
Because that's like saying we don't know who robbed the bank. Extreme situation. We don't know who robbed the bank.
But it was one of your kids.
But you guys were all in here, so who did it? No one? No one's going to fess up. Okay, well, guess what? You're all going to jail now.
Right.
Like, that's an adult equivalent.
But, you know, I think the situation there is a lot more serious if you're looking at jail time.
Yes, that's true. But, I mean, to a kid, like sitting in a corner is jail time.
But we objectively know that you're not depriving them of a massive chunk of their life.
No, you're surprised.
It's more just like a mild inconvenience for them, which as a child, if you haven't faced a lot of inconvenience, a mild inconvenience is a massive inconvenience.
That's true. So you should always inconvenience your kids a little bit at a time so they become numb to it.
Yeah, so they build an immunity up to it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I actually, when I first looked at the shade on our list, my gut reaction is that no, it's not okay. But then the more I think about it, I think I am kind of in support of this.
Okay.
Now, if you know clearly who's at fault, definitely just punish that person.
Yeah.
But if it's impossible to tell, here's the benefit of doing this. It forces a sort of camaraderie among them.
Okay.
Now, it's against you as their enemy, as their parent, because they're like united in the fact that they're all being screwed over equally by you.
Yep.
But it still does bring them together. And I think that's useful for future disagreements because then they start to kind of manage themselves with this, where it's like someone knocks the cake over and they're all like, all right, well, we all got to clean this up. We all got to work together. Like if one of us goes down for this, we're all going down.
See, I would think the opposite. I would think if everyone gets punished, they're going to be like, next time, they're like, oh, we're going to tell on Billy because this is not happening to us because of what he did.
No, this is the same thing that started in the first place, though, is Billy said it was them and they said it was Billy and they all got punished.
Oh.
Once they know that the truth doesn't matter, they're just all equally screwed if anything goes wrong, they have to collaborate.
Okay, yeah, that is more likely.
Because if it was just a matter of like Billy did and you're like, oh, there we go, now we have the answer, then they wouldn't all be getting punished in the first place. The issue is it's a he said, she said thing.
Yeah.
So as the parent, you can't take either of the person's word for face value.
Yeah.
So it forces you to come together and address the issue itself and work together for solutions, which is why I'm actually for this. It's not a fair system, but sometimes things being unfair forces people to become stronger. I mean, it's a good prep for real life. You know, things are going to be constantly unfair in your adult life. And if you can get used to that as a kid, you're much better prepared to handle it as an adult.
If you are a kid and you're watching this, you're going to be really surprised when you become an adult and you realize that people will just screw you over just because they can.
Yeah.
It is alarming how often that happens. So you got to keep an eye out. Keep yourself sharp.
As a kid, I was very against this. As an adult without children, I'm kind of for this.
See, I'm against this. I don't think it is okay. I think you get down to the bottom of it, or just be like, if I find out who did this, and just put like the fear of dad in them.
Right.
You
Which,
know?
to be fair, I'm not saying this is okay. I'm just saying that it's a good simulation for real life, which as a parent is kind of your responsibility to present to them. So it's not that I'm saying this is fair. I'm just saying it's a good way to warm them up to how unfair other things are going to be.
Gotcha. It's a softball.
Yes.
For how life is. Okay.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it, yeah.
I'm going to softball you. You're all in trouble.
Right. I'm going to start throwing softballs at each of you until someone confesses.
Because one day someone's going to be throwing hardballs at you, and you're going to wish that you build up that, we got there. You're going to thank me for this one day, kids.
I don't think you can build up an immunity to, like, blunt objects.
Just picturing someone throwing softballs at kids, like, you're going to thank me one day for this.
Then as an adult, someone throws a bowling ball and it just bounces off of them and they don't even react.
And like, oh, thanks, Dad.
Right.
Right, but let's get to the shenanigans.
Yes.
All right, so you'll take that.
You should punish all the kids.
Okay. And I will say you should find out who actually did it.
Or just punish no one.
Or just put a fear in them and punish no one.
Right.
Yeah.
Just booby trap the cake next time.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom. It is not okay. That is called injustice.
Yes, Injustice, Children Among Us, the new sequel to the Injustice franchise.
All right, Carter, I got the Would You Rather for today, and I hope you guys are following along because we're doing this. So, would you rather lose the ability to speak or to read? Forevers. Now, you could, like, sign language.
Can I read
fine.
and write?
Yeah.
Okay. This is interesting.
Yeah, so you could, you can sign language, but vocally lose that ability
Right.
to make any noises, basically, out from your mouth. You can still make noises out of your butt.
Man, losing the ability to read would affect a lot in life. Literacy is pretty important in the world that we live in today.
It is.
It's the basis for most things on the internet. I mean, even if you're just watching YouTube videos, you still have to type in YouTube and know where to type that in. And then how are you going to search for videos? If you can't read or write, then how do you look up anything that you want to watch?
Well, you could do like, hey, Google, could you...
Oh, that's true.
I mean, technology now, you can get away with it, but it would be, there would be some back channels, awkward, like you'd have to figure it out.
Yeah, losing the ability to speak would suck for a lot of reasons. I could make it through life. I could still accomplish a lot of things. I could still learn a lot of things, go places, understand stuff. Whereas being able to speak, I mean, that's almost just kind of like a ego thing, you know? It's like, how important are the things that I have to say them right now?
Yeah, that's true.
And I can't just write it out or do sign language or something. But like, no, the world needs to understand me 24/7.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I'm probably not that significant. I'd rather sit back and take in what other people have to say.
So if I choose lose ability to read, now I'm the a-hole. So I think I would rather lose the ability to speak than to read. Reading is so super important.
Reading is fundamental.
It is. But I would much rather be able to read. I mean, even something simple as like a stop sign or all the signs when you're driving, the exits, you read constantly without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess but that would count numbers too then.
I guess so.
I mean, they aren't letters, but they're symbols that denote meaning. So, I mean, it's the same thing as letters. It's just for a different concept.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess numbers would be easier to learn, though, because there's only 9 of them that just repeat in different combinations.
It's the same with letters. It's like, what is there, 26 letters? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they just repeat in different sequences.
Yeah, but a 9 stays a 9 no matter where you put it. But letters change their sounds depending on who they're cozied up next to. That's why kids have a hard time with pronunciation with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't go to school for that. Couldn't pronounce my R's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, pronounce them A's.
Like you were just a very fancy British person.
Yes.
Are we going to the park today?
That's basically. I think, my parents were like, why is our kid British?
Father.
It's so dark. It's so dark outside.
That sounds less British.
That's how I
can't
spoke.
place that.
That's how I spoke.
It's dark.
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 It's more like a Boston accent.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Put a dock outside. I apologize to everyone right now.
Yeah, there goes all of our Boston viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we found out that apparently it is unfair for you to punish all of your children for only what Billy did. I still think it's good practice, but it is unfair. I will concede to that.
And as we say, just because the universe says you shouldn't doesn't mean you can't. You can still do it. You have free will to make mistakes.
You're just in violation of universal law. And we found out that, did we both say reading?
Yeah.
We both like to still be able to read?
Yeah, we both like to read.
Yeah, we both like to still be able to read, even if it means we can't talk anymore.
Yeah, we would sit in silence and just read and just look at each other and go.
We're going to get all these comments that are like, yeah, you guys should definitely forget how to speak.
Don't give them ammo.
Right. Well, now if they say it, they're just plagiarizing. So
yeah.
It's not even original.
What if we just said every mean stuff about us on every episode? Right. Like, there you go. Nothing left to say, guys.
We just get comments like, are you guys okay? Well, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, there are a ton more out there, and you don't have to read them. You can just watch them if that's a benefit to you. If you want to read them, you can. Just turn on the captions. But overall, they're out there to be watched. Go watch them.
Yes, an interesting fact, all of our captions are closed.
Yes.
It's because they're closed captions.
Right.
But in the meantime, remember to comment, like, and push that subscribe button. Mm-hmm. We need friends.
Yeah. Double stuff your Oreos at home to save money in the grocery store.
Ring the notification bell.
Encourage others around you to leave you alone.
And tell your pet dolphin that every porpoise has a purpose. And as always,
IKAGA. Yup.